Today I'm staying in Myanmar in a hotel. I just arrived Myanmar last night. I have to stay in hotel for 7 days. Currently, I access our system from Myanmar. Our server is in China. So, uh, firstly, I have a slide. This is the features we are going to demo today, but I will not explain the PPT in detail. And this is our design principle. So we are going to offer a united, easy to use and rich market information and easy trading and security interoperabilities between the APP, PC, and our OMS and back office. Firstly, I want to show our apps. So I have to switch the screen. Okay. This is our application. We call it KVELS, Kingdom Wealth Management Tools. This is how it looks like. In the button, there are four buttons. Is a code, the marketing watch, the trade, news feed, and about me. In this corner, we can
Watch
move,
list.
we can move the share in the top or down. And for example, we want to search for shares. For example, like let me see is EB. Okay, we can add to the watch list. We can sort the watch list by price, by the code, and also by change. And we already know the 5 years history, DSE history data to our systems. This is the watch list. And another is the market. Market is we are going to show all shares information, including DSE and CSE. Because the data is not updating because we haven't connect to the DSE or CSE API. We not the offline data to our systems. This is all the shares in DSE. So we can, investor can search and to sort the share by the price and by the changes. If we want to see the details, for example, we want to see the detail of these shares. This is the real-time data. This could be the real-time data, including the time frame chart, and the bidding and the market depth, including bidding and ask, and the detailed. This data will be appear during we connect to the DSE or CSE API. This is the history information data. We can zoom in and zoom out the technical chart. The technical indicators will provide the MACD, RSI, and others. Currently, we just implement the volume and the MACD. If we pull I can move my fingers in different chart, so the price and the detailed information like open, high, low, pro, close, change of volumes and turnover will be appear on the screen automatically. And if I want to place order, I can click buy to log into the trading the page. The trading page including the general portfolio information. We can hit and we can show the information, including the total assets and the profit and loss. And there are four functions in the middle is buy as place orders, sell, the cancel the orders, and the IPOs, IPO. So our principle is for later on when we move to online trading, we encourage the user and investor to do the trading from the mobile. For example, to place orders, you can search for the symbols, and we will support both DSE and CSE. United only have the DSE. Investor can choose the price type and add the quantities and choose the order type to place orders. Buy is seminars. Investor can, here is the positions in which is in the investor can select the shares in his position to place order or sell. Currently, because it's not works because we haven't connected to API. IPO is we want all the things can be start from the user app like APO. They can later on when we integrate our app to our Cadence OMS back office, the investor can apply the IPO from their trading apps. Another thing is the difference like FlatTP. We are going to offer the deposit. So what the idea of deposit? So first thing we are going to want to digitalize. Currently, the investor when they transfer the money from their banks or mobile money or by the BFTN or NPSB, right? They have to contact your account manager or dealer by email or by phone calls. So we're going to ask the investors. This information can be changed to, we can modify according to the United requirement. We're going to ask them to deliver such information, the fund transfer or money deposit information from our apps, both the bank and the checks from our apps. The information will be displayed on our back office. The account manager or dealer can process. So all the things will be digitalized, knowing the email and phone calls. This is our ideas. And we also discuss with some payment gateway. We are going to integrate with their payment gateway. So later on, it could be 100% automatically. Withdrawal is seminars. So currently, investor need to call or deliver email to United, and later on, investor can submit the requirement from the apps. The information will deliver to our OMS and back office. Our dealer and account manager can process from the back office. So this will be solved when you have, for example, let's say 500,000 investors. So all the things should be digitalized. If you still need still process by email or phone calls, that will be a disaster to United. Okay, this is the positions. Position, we provide the research and realize the PRN, market value, and cash balance. We are also going to integrate to the multi-trading. A investor can see their buying powers and credit fund on their apps later on. If we implement in the United, so all the things will be real time, and all the information will be automatically delivered to the investors. Field is the orders, how is the execution result. Another is newsfeed. Newsfeed, we provide the portals. For example, United can upload the daily research report, or you can add a PDF files to this page. The investor can download download information, and you may also can add some YouTube videos on the newsfeed portals. So you may create some YouTube the investor trading execution knowledge, right? So how you deliver information to the investors, or you can use these newsfeed portals to deliver the videos in your newsfeed portals. And also you may transfer some information from DSC or BSEC announcement. So I can give you I can show how it works. I will switch to these portals admin panel. I'm going to deliver a testing message. I will log out sorry, share the screen.
Do you have any future plan to add a fundamental information platform?
Sure, well, I will give you we are going to provide that because we know for example, the database or what you are asking is for the fundamentals. It's very important. We are going to provide that platform. So currently, I'm going to show the demo for the news testing.
Okay.
90. You can create a photos. For example, we select some photos, or this is the panels. You can, it's like Microsoft Word. You can type something, or you can create some links, or even you can create some, to add some the YouTube links to these panels. I don't want to go so detailed today. Let's see. Okay, now it's success. So I go back to the AVVs. Sorry, so switch. Sorry, I have to log into the meeting from mobile just now and log out. Give me 1 minute.
So, yeah, no problem, Toby. You can just log in. So yeah, I think once we come on to the PC platform demo, if there's any problems with the connectivity or other things, then I guess Anwar is also in your office. He can demo it locally as well. At the moment, the Kingdom kind of prototype development, because they're based in Shenzhen, the original plan was they were going to be based in Dhaka. Obviously, because of COVID, they haven't been able to come to Dhaka. I think the whole system is currently hosted in a cloud in Wuhan, but it's going to be shifted to Singapore cloud, so it'll be a bit smoother. So off you go, Toby.
Yeah, you see the testing united the information already displayed on the apps. It's okay. For the real time. So you can send the information no matter what you want. And Coda is news. You can upload the research report or announcement or PDF files, videos, all sent on these portals. This is the ideas. And the interactions we are going to offer the advisor services. This is not a robot advisors. So this will be connect your investor to your dinner or account manager to provide the question and the answers.
Yeah, so it's not basically what Toby's saying, not robo-advisor. It's not a
chat.
It's not
robo-advisor.
No, it's not a chat. It's not a chatbot. Robo-advisor is different, Toby. But the chatbot, I mean, so basically this is for the direct conversation. And of course, we also have developed, we've developed a separate chatbot quite detailed chatbot, capital markets chatbot with Alice, we can show you separately. So that can be integrated into the Kingdom system.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so
Okay.
you can
Do you have any planning in futures like natural language in a country like Bangladesh? For example, we can search, for example, square pharmaceutical price. Okay, so they can see the price trend of the square pharmaceuticals or the square pharmaceutical P, whatever the information is available within systems. So that will show it to the screen. So is that kind of
you mean like
technology
a search function, or mean on the chatbot?
It's a search version, but it's a sort of, yes, chatbot. In chatbot, basically you can use the natural language. You can even if you type in Bangla, so the required information comes to your site. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, no, I think basically again with Alice, because they just specialize in chatbot, nothing else. So the way we are working with Alice, so then what we can do is develop the customized chatbot offering for United. But because we're actually working, obviously we like AT Capital, we're working with Alice, we're also working with Kingdom, so we can smoothly integrate it into the Kingdom platform. So,
yes, correct.
So of course the whole app will be in both English and Bangla, and so will the website, but the chatbot will also be in English and Bangla. So if for example, we upload a database and link it, or we have our database linked to the chatbot, when there's a keyword, there's no reason why it can't automatically bring up. If somebody says, I'd like to know about Square, and then the chatbot can automatically bring up some summary information on Square, or it can give a link to the Square research note or whatever you predefine. So, ultimately the chatbot is not really AI. It's more about having a series of predefined rules. So once you define the rules, that's where the chatbot customization comes in. A general chatbot, which many people are using, the customer experience, user experience is not that good. And that's why Alice is working, we're working very closely with Alice. It's like a joint venture, you could say, with Alice. Because if Alice just tries to create their own chatbot for capital markets, they won't be able to do it very well because they don't know the context, or they don't know the what kinds of questions and answers, what kinds of questions are like to come, and what kinds of answers will investors be expecting. So that's why we will, it can be a simple chatbot to start, and then you can have a more sophisticated chatbot. The main, not to interrupt Toby too much, but the main message I would give is that I think you can remember when from the China, we'll come to the China brokers in a minute, but why do some brokers in China, the average Kingdom system is 1.4 million US in China, but actually, so that's the average cost of a Kingdom system. But actually the brokers in China, like Essence Securities or other big brokers, they're spending $30–40 million annually in IT. The reason for that is actually the main competition. What differentiates, why does a customer go to one broker versus another broker, is because they have a better customer experience. Yes, research and other things is important. So things like the experience on the app, the experience on the web portal, the experience with the chatbot and customer, the integration with social media, all these things are important as to why one customer will stick with this broker versus go to another broker. Obviously in Bangladesh, we're still at the very early stage of this development, but you can see even, I think I heard unofficially that Lanka Bangla has invested another 1 crore taka in March, April for their online trading platform, even though they've already invested 20 crore plus. And actually, although it seems like, why would they do that? Actually, the market was shut then. To me, that's logical, because actually, I think the Lanka Bangla senior management understands that once the API is opened up, the share of market turnover will change very quickly, because quite quickly, investors will be able to see, okay, I have a better experience with United than I do with another broker, so I will start using that. But anyway, I guess, Toby, you can finish off the demo, and then we can also talk about customization options.
Yeah.
Toby.
Sure. May I continue my demos?
Please, Toby, continue.
This is the intro actions between the investor to the brokers. Another page about me. Settings, we support the Google and Facebook and the login as a guest. Why we provide that? Because when the online trading is popular in Bangladesh, so maybe there are some new investors, they're not United customers, right? They are your potential customers. So they should be can access your app or PC client or your web page, right? But they don't have your bill ID. So how they login that? They can use login by Google or Facebook or login as a guest, no, to use your system, but they cannot execute your trade. And they can, for example, we can provide the customer service, the portal by chat box or by other ways to get the new customer information, to help them to open an account, to give them the training about the trade. And for the commercial launch, we will support the Bangla version for app. Currently, we only provide English. This is the general ideas. Of course, we'll add some other features like data portal to this platform later on. So next, any question about this?
No, it's perfect, I think.
Okay, I will go to the PC client.
It's a very clean and I like it. So, do you have any color options to change the color?
Currently, we only provide these colors, the white, but maybe we'll provide another. That is not so difficult to ask. Provide the
No,
same.
actually, investors may sometimes they have some different.
But my PC client, the color will be different.
I think, Mahfouz, what I was saying at the beginning is that what you're looking at now is actually the prototype.
Yeah.
This is the app design and the web design team. And the way that the whole development process works is next week or the week after, it will go to the design team. Then the design team will focus on all of the look of the buttons, the colors. But certainly if you have any feedback on what colors you think will look nice in Bangladesh, then please let us know. Because when it goes to the design team, it will change again.
So okay, this is my PC client. So this color is different. So because the PC is almost for the professional investors and for the dinners. So every day they have to watch the screen. Okay. So the best way is provide black to protect their eyes, because they have to stare on screen for 1 trading days, right? So let me introduce my PC client. Currently, we have now the 5 years history information. So this information on the PC and our apps is synchronized, same data, and the user can synchronize the investor can synchronize the watch list from the PC to apps later on. And this PC client we can offer to the individual investor also, like a flash trade dinner terminals, not only for dinner, but also for the investors, individual investors. This is a homepage including all DSC shares. We can enlarge these columns to see all detailed informations. We can sort by the quotation, sort by the volumes, change, and raise rate. And we can, if you don't like the volume in the second, you can move to the first column. Sorry. Now volume is moved to the first. If we want, this is the home page. Now I add around 400 to 24 shares, or DSC shares. And here is the trading panels. To both, I want to remind that it's not only for dinner, but also for the individual investors. You can place order from this dinner terminals. This is how it looks like, order type, imitations, they can enlarge this page. Sorry. Okay, I follow this one. And the alternate, for example, I want to add my, maybe I want to search some United shares, United Airways. Okay, sorry. United, how to spell United Airways. Okay, I want to add all this to my alternate. United Financial and United Commercial Bank. Okay, this is the detailed page for the United United Commercial Bank. Firstly, we can drop out this page to another monitor. So our PC terminal support the maximum 6 monitors. You can drop out. For example, there will be 2 applications. See that? You can move to another monitor where you can. If you just have 1 monitor, you can to modify the window size. And this is the real-time information. Just as I told you, we haven't connected to the DSC APIs, so there is no data. There should be a technical chart during the marketing open day if we connect to the API. And in the right side is the open high, the marketing information, and also including the tickers, detailed tickers of the, it's called should be real time. And we will provide the 5 minutes or 30 minutes on 1 hour data after we connect to API. Connect and provide 1 day history information.
Yeah, I think Toby, you can show. I think one of the important points is you can have multiple screens. So you can either have 5 or 6 screens on 1 screen, or you can have 4 different screens at the same time. So it's very, very different to the DSC mobile app.
Yeah, we can support a maximum of 4 or 6 monitors.
You could have 6 monitors up there, or say a customer wants to have 3 or 4 screens up at the same time. Then yes, you have this interface. Your customers have this interface on their computer that they're trading. So it's a very, obviously this is a professional system. It's not like the DSC Flex Trade.
Sure. Okay. This is the technical chart of the 5 years. We can zoom in and zoom out the technical chart. And here is the history information. So if we want to check some history information, you just move your mouse. The detail will be displayed on the screen automatically. If you don't want put the draggable to here, you can move to here. You can move to this way. You can zoom in and zoom out. Even we can use the mouse to select this part. I want to see the detail. Okay, you will get the information. And here is the technical indicators. We provide some technical indicators like RSI and MACD, blah blah blah. And in the main windows, we can choose none the indicators, or would be embedded with the MA or burn line. One more thing is very interesting is, for example, if you investor want to do some analyze, for example, they want to know, for example, they want to know from this point to this point, how much the percentage the share increase. So we have tools, we can draw a line from this button to this button. We'll get the data automatically. For example, from this point in 2016, August 11 to 2017, January 26, the share is increased around 68%. And same thing, if we want to check this line, we can draw the line on the technical chart. There has another technical chart. I don't want to give the so detailed explanations, but I think Anwar can give you the installer later on for technical analysis use our PC client.
Yeah, I think one thing, Toby, maybe you can confirm to me or not, but I think that once United signs with us and we start this development process, then we can, I mean, technically United can, you could actually launch some of this platform to your clients even before the API is open, because you're actually able to give your clients a better customer experience. And then once the API opens, then you can obviously then trading will be live. But the idea is, the whole idea is there'll be a few brokers, as I said, obviously we're biased because we're a technology provider, but essentially there'll be a few brokers who are thinking ahead of the curve. Those brokers who wait till the API is opened up will be 5 or 6 months behind, and they're going to lose a lot of market share. But the idea is then to get your customers used to the functionality of the system, and then as soon as the API is opened up, it'll be live, they'll be comfortable. But some of these technical trading tools and platform on its own is actually a very significant value addition.
And even we don't have API, we can upload the daily data manually to the United system, to this platform every day. So the investor, they will have a lot of information for research and for the technical analysis. They are ready. Another thing is for the online ready, United should be ready, technical partner should be ready, and the investor itself should be ready. How the investor ready, need education and need to study how to use the new system. This is so that's all. We will in next version, maybe next month, we will add the newsfeed portal. So the newsfeed will be synchronized in the app and the PC from the one source.
And one other thing I was going to emphasize is that, like in China, most investors, like 90% investors, are actually, even large sophisticated investors, are still trading from their mobile phone. So you can see the PC client version is kind of where we'll start in Bangladesh, and over time,
will shift it to
the functionality from the PC client version will start to have similar functionality in the mobile app. So I think that's, but initially, I think still many investors many professional investors and institutional investors will still be using their PCs to trade, and the retail investors will have a simpler app. But I think over time that will change. I mean, in China, the mobile apps are extremely sophisticated. So, yeah. Go on, Toby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next section.
So this is our PC client, and next one I want to have a quick show about the. We want to have a quick look about the Chinese dinner terminals.
Do you want to show? I mean, I don't know. Can you show some of the summary pages? Okay, sure. Go ahead. Show the China thing, then we can show maybe a few slides of the OMS.
This is the Chinese systems. It's called the East Money Security. It provides a lot of information. I don't want to give the so detailed, just show the ideas.
But you can. I think what you can see is that basically, Mahfouz Bhai, if you imagine maybe it's 3 to 5 years time, what we're looking at here is like these are like $2, $3, $5 million plus systems. So, but obviously with Bangladesh, it will evolve over time. So again, let's say like as of I think yesterday before, BSEC announced that they're going to allow bond trading through the DSC. So Kingdom, we already have a bond trading module we can implement into the system. Once clients start to trade bonds on the DSC, that will take time. So each of these things are kind of modular. Let's say later on there's derivatives, or there's other functions on the platform. Maybe eventually there'll be foreign markets. So maybe over the next 3 to 5 years, as these things come up, the difference between say DirectFN, Zags, ourselves versus FlexDP is our core development team will be between Shenzhen and Dhaka. So it's actually quite a direct process for us to discuss. You know, we want a long-term partnership with United. So as you want to develop your platform product, there's not a long, it's not like you're emailing somebody in the Middle East or New York. Basically, your immediate point of contact is, you know, myself, Nafiz, Anwar, and the Kingdom team. So the plan is to actually, we will keep adding more personnel to the Dhaka-based Kingdom team. Of course, you know, so that we can provide more, not just the customer service, but also the product development to our clients actually from Dhaka. So this is the OMS, Toby, across you.
Yeah. Next time I want. Next, I want to have a quick show about our OMS and back office. Our OMS is called the Kingdom Smart Trading Systems. So it's web-based. It's a web-based system. No need the installations. This is has some. I want to have a quick introductions. For example, this is the system maintenance management. The panels to setting the system data, to setting the services, and also to query the operation logs, and the setting your branches, and to manage your employees. This is the basic functions of the brokers. And for example, the prediction management and to manage the GL account. Okay, this is the basic setting of the broker house. And this is the integrated OMS and back office. This is almost like the back office system to how to create the trading account in United. So normally all the information later on we can also customize according to the United requirement, and to bind the investor United investor account to the bill account, to query the investor informations, to manage the fund, to manage the cash deposit, checks, bank transfers, and third party, we call third party, maybe it's called mobile money, and the fund withdrawals. Just now I have shown you, user can withdraw the funds from the APPs. So here, this is the panels, This is the panels to approve, to process the application, withdrawal application from the APPs. And this is how you manage the instrument. And this is the shares. Which share you can trade? The share is what type, and the price unit, the trading quantity size, and the price type. And all the real-time information will be uploaded to the OMS automatically if we connect to the API. And our system already supports the equity and the ETF and bond. Bond we haven't add. We can add the bond, for example. We can add the bond and ETF and equity. Equity is shares. They already supported. And the blacklist, for example, United don't want to investor to trade in some shares. You can add the blacklist. This share, for example, you can put in a blacklist, so all your investor will be cannot purchase by these shares. Trading controls. It has a lot of information. So I think I just want to have a very quick overview of our systems and the block trade. a lot of block trade. So investor and or broker can submit a block trade on the OMS. And also clearance and settlement. We have clearance settlement, inquiry, the report, investor management. So a lot of functions. So we are going to cooperate with United to implement such solution in United as soon as possible.
Okay, that's great. So I think now we can open up for some questions from the United team.
Hi, Toby. Hi, Steve. Hi.
Yep.
It was a very wonderful presentation, and we loved it. I think it was really functional, and I see it's a work in progress, and it will obviously grow gradually.
Maybe everybody yeah, that's it. If everybody stays on mute who's not talking, then I think there'll be no feedback.
Yeah, sorry. So I think from my point of view, it was a very clean and clear and very responsive interface, which will obviously is a work in progress and will develop over time. But if I was actually wondering that what if we can host the entire thing for United in AWS, and we can connect through internet, and from if we can connect our AWS to DSC matching engine, then from United perspective, we don't necessarily need any infrastructure. We just need an internet connection, and so where we can find internet connection, we can work or we can do office from there. Do you think it is possible? It's not related to Kingdom, but it's, I think, more related to Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission and DSC. What do you think? What is your opinion about it?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think that I'll answer first, and Toby can give his perspective. If we think about the, we're also going to develop a basic execution system that will be cloud-based for, let's say, we consider, so say the top 15 brokers, we assume will want to have a server-based solution, and then maybe brokers number 15 to number 50, or eventually number 100, that want to have a much better system than the DSC FlexTrade mobile app, will have a cloud-based system because they don't want to invest $150,000, whatever it is, in the server technology. So I think as far as the software is concerned, I don't think there is itself a huge difference. I mean, but in terms of system stability, system speed, system, so all of those things, if you have a local server, you're going to give your customers a much better experience ultimately. So you can see, I mean, even in the last few weeks, or the last week, the DSC system is becoming a bit slow because there's too many trades being processed. So I think maybe I think if United wants to be a leading broker, which I think they want to be, then at some point you probably want to have your own server-based system. If, for example, you have a cloud-based system and Lanka Bangla has a server-based system, most times they're going to be faster on trade execution, especially as volumes start to go up. So it's actually more of a competitive, decision. Maybe you could start with I mean, I think, Toby, you can answer this question. Probably, as far as our system is concerned, it can operate either on a cloud-based system or on a server-based system. But it's actually more about, how, like, for example, in China, no broker is using a cloud system. In Hong Kong, many brokers using a cloud system, because in Hong Kong you have hundreds and hundreds of brokers with relatively small volumes, and in China you have 120 brokers with very the biggest broker has 10 million clients. So in China, if you have a broker which has a cloud-based system and all of the major brokers are using a server system, they're going to lose market share because people just won't be able to execute as smoothly. But Toby, why don't you give your thoughts on that? I mean, maybe it's possible for United to start with a cloud-based system and move to a server system as volumes increase. So what is your thoughts? You're on mute, Toby.
During the testing or commission stage, I think United maybe can use the AWS or Huawei or Alibaba for testing purpose, but for the product system, and at this stage, I propose you a server-based systems. The first one is currently in Bangladesh. There is no the public cloud hosters. Second, the trading, the order execution is very important. Like in US and China's, the brokers will install server their OMS besides the match engine to reduce the order execution latency. That is very important now and futures. So what we are going to implement in United is OMS, back office, APP, and the dinner terminals. Most of function is still the trading part, right? But later on, maybe 5 years later or even more years later, if, for example, you have the research portals or you have the technical database, that one you can put in anywhere, in AWS or some cloud. But at this time, we are going to implement the OMS back office, APP, and PC. This time, the best is choose the hardware-based to reduce the latency and to provide a faster trading experience to the Bangladesh investors.
Does that answer the question a bit, Tani?
Yeah, Istivai, kind of, because from my point of view, what I understand is if we can actually keep the transactional database in within the border of Bangladesh and move all the other databases to some cloud like in Singapore or nearby countries, and if we can provide ample bandwidth to ample internet bandwidth, and if our local infrastructure is properly fine-tuned, I don't think it's impossible. But the only thing restrain us from doing this is our SEC guideline and DSC guideline. So, do you think we can work on this together? Because this will eventually save us at least 20 million taka upfront cost.
It will, but I guess, Tani, what I would say is, so we are actually going to make a proposal to offer, as I said, the medium-sized brokers a cloud-based system. It will be a much simpler system, more of an execution system, not all of the functionality we've just showed you now. This is for the large broker system, but again, I would say, and this is more of a strategic decision for your management and your board. If you want to be a leading broker in Bangladesh, then I would strongly recommend a server-based system. It's not actually that Kingdom, we can work with either platform with you, but we're trying to give you, I mean, you know, for you as our client, we're trying to give you the right advice. You know, we're not selling the hardware, and we're not going to make any money from the hardware sales. So just so we're clear, we don't have any. If you want to use Dell or IBM or Huawei, whoever you want to use, we're fine with that. We don't have any bias towards Chinese hardware vendor or US one or whatever. So we don't have any interest for the server side, the hardware side, as a commercial interest. But
I understand. I completely understand.
But what you will see.
But as a country, I think this is actually an opportunity for us, because we don't have any black and white regulation about this. But if we can, actually, the world is moving into cloud. So if we can convince our regulators, this would be beneficial for all of us. But I understand you recommend the on-premises setup, and I will recommend the same to my management as well.
No, but what I'm also saying, maybe there's some sort of hybrid system. So
yeah,
you know,
understood.
Because at the end of the day, if we could just say to you, look, you know, let's say it's 2 crore taka, something like that, for the hardware costs. Maybe it's a bit less, 1.5 to 2 crore taka. And we say, look, okay, we'll do it on the cloud for you guys because we want to, you know, get your business and move forward. But then later on, when your system is not as good as a server-based system, you will come back to us and say, Ifti, Toby, you didn't tell us this. So we're just, but what we are also going to be doing is, we have a detailed cloud proposal for the medium-sized brokers. So we're not anti-cloud, but what I think you'll see is, like being very simplistic. Let's say somebody's using the Lanka Bangla. Just keep using Lanka Bangla as an example, or it could be Shelltech or a City Brokerage, whoever it is, and they just find they're able to implement and execute trades just that much faster. Then eventually they're going to gravitate towards those brokers. Eventually, even for international clients as well, it will be something similar. I know at the moment it'll take time for international clients to have it's a block-based. A lot of these are block-based transactions, but over time, international clients will also trade on your online trading platform. So that's just a thing to bear in mind. But we are actually the reason we're proposing a cloud-based solution for the medium brokers is I still believe, although things are moving forward for the API opening, I don't see any change, but we have to offer a good quality alternative to the big broker solutions for the medium and small brokers. Otherwise, there'll end up being some stickiness at DSE. I think the reason also Kingdom is offering a cloud-based solution is that we want to make sure that DSE management between you and, there's no reason for excuse as far as the moving forward. So there's no technical reason why we can't have a cloud solution. And I think the BSEC chairman and the commission wants to push hard for a significant move forward. I mean, as his mantra, Shibli Robert's mantra is having the trading in the palm of your hand. What we have to avoid is this repeat of flex trade. If you have the trading in the palm of your hand and it's a bad experience, then nobody's going to trade from the palm of your hand. So I think that the regulators are already shifting their mindset. As far as the cloud is concerned, again, technically we can start with AWS in Singapore. Of course, we can establish a cloud in Bangladesh. There's no technical reason we can't. So we have a plan later on to have a local cloud system when you have enough brokers using it. So these are, I'd say, it's like a judgment call. So I think, is it worth United making that hardware investment or not? Then you have to assess what is the efficiency or the experience, downgrade versus a server-based system, and is that if it's very small, maybe you'll be right in going with a cloud-based system. I mean, I think what Toby was saying is obviously that in NASDAQ or especially in the US, to some extent in China, Hong Kong, I think, in Japan, Hong Kong, actually, and in London as well, like quant hedge funds, if you swing to the other extreme, we're trying to move in Bangladesh to online trading, but the quant hedge funds, they're dealing in, microseconds, so tens of thousands of a second. That difference is the difference between making money and not making money. So you've got the other extreme. So we're not going to be like that in Bangladesh. That's where they have to actually physically put their server so close to the NASDAQ server so that actually
much engine close the much.
So basically, it's between 1 microsecond and 2 microseconds. So we're not suggesting that Bangladesh is going to be in that situation for a long time. But you can imagine, from that all the way to a cloud-based execution system, there is a lot of slowness. So I think what you can maybe do before finalizing your decision on the server is, we can work with either. So that the issue is not for us. We can work with either system, with either solution, but I think it's mainly to make that judgment call as to, what is going to be the competitive platform. I don't know.
Yeah, Ifti, my intention is completely simple. My intention is my management should make an informed decision, and if they make an informed decision, that's either way, it's fine with me. So I think our researcher, Mr. Osman, has something to say.
Please.
Osman, after you.
Good afternoon, Ifti bhai. Unmute Ifti bhai and the Kingdom teams, thank you very much for a thoughtful presentation. I have a very short question. This is, let's say 1 year from now, maybe top 20 broker will have a specific OMS solution, and probably 10 of them will be using the Kingdom solution, probably the rest of them using X and Y solution. What would be the option to differentiate ourselves or differentiate our OMS system from others? Can you give us some example in light of how international market or international broker are doing in this regard?
No, that's a very good question, because, you know, I think people, you know, it's kind of what I keep saying, but I sound biased because we're trying to, we're a technology solution provider. So everybody will say, well, if he's going to say that because he wants, you know, the brokers to buy the solution. But actually, the main competition in the next 12 months is what you've outlined is going to be online. So what are the different components of the competition? What will cause, you know, a large institutional investor or even a high net worth retail investor to go with a United System versus Sheltec, Shanta, you know, Citi, RAC EPL, or whatever it's going to be. So I think firstly, it has to be a smooth and seamless experience. And that's of course true across all of the Kingdom platforms. Secondly, the areas that you can differentiate, one is of course research. So, you know, as you, so both the kind of research you generate and also how you deliver the research. So for example, it might be that you decide, okay, yeah, there's equity research, you may or may not want to do that, but let's say you have a regular news update, you have a video update. So the content and the integration is important. It may be that you want to offer training sessions, so you can add a module. It's not in the current platform. So we, you know, the whole point about the large broker solution is, for example, if you want to develop an additional functionality, say for gaming. So one of the ways that, you know, in China and in Europe and the US that brokers try and differentiate is that they say, okay, we want to give people a gaming experience. Now, that's not part of our core offering, but you might say to us, okay, we want, you know, people want to practice trading the market. Let's offer them a gaming experience. So that, now, another important area is chatbot and more broadly, social media integration. So again, Chinese brokers are spending millions of dollars just on their WeChat integration. So what is their experience? I mean, what kind of interaction do you have with a client? What kind of marketing interface? What kind of research, other information you're providing? So I think you know, these are all things which, you know, that's not, there's no general, so Kingdom is providing a general solution, and then you will then, United will say, okay, we really want to focus on that. Let's say you focus on the international business. I don't know how much United is focusing on the international business. If you want to focus on the international business, then of course you need high quality research. But the actual, you know, interface and Bloomberg integration becomes much more important. So I think there are quite a few tools, and you'll be able to, and we can help you to actually say, look at, say, Robinhood's experience. You know, Robinhood is now $11 billion biggest online broker in the US. So why is Robinhood worth $11 billion? What is their customer experience? What is their customer interface? What kind of information do they give? So when we look at the mass retail investor, what is there? So I think there's kind of a series of different components that we can work with you on. And again, the point we want to emphasize is that we are here to work with you and our clients. So, and it's not that you'll tell us, can you do this? And then we'll integrate into the general platform. I mean, you know, each of our clients we will work with separately, and we want to help you develop, you know, you need to make more turnover in business. And if you do well, we do well. Then
I think if it is right, we will analyze the United and which kind of things we are going to offer to United together.
Yeah.
So the different broker have the different the cultures, different background, different resources. So we will help you success.
Yeah, I mean, before the old model, I think maybe Mahfouz Bhai can add to the old, you know, why is Lanka Bangla, you know, the biggest broker or the other? I mean, okay, then it tends to be you have 20 branches. Well, when you're in the online trading world, you don't need, you know, nobody's going to have 20 branches, or you'll certainly the branch experience is much less important. So
actually, Ifti,
Please.
from the very beginning, from our brokerage, we are running this brokerage as much as slim. Okay, so we don't recruit so many people, and we also don't go for so many branches from the very beginning. Even if you look at, even I think in Bangladesh markets, probably we are the only brokerage whose return on equity is close to 15 to 20%. Lanka Bangla Securities, I know their return on equity in a good period of time, it is close to 4 to 5%, not more than that. So we have only 35 people. Yes, WMS is a very good choice of investments for us at this point, because we don't want to focus on the retail side through branch expansions. Okay, we'd like to, that's we totally understand that everything will shift in the mobile phone, and people will it's education, it's trading, everything is moving, and the banking. Okay, so every I think financial transaction will shift to the mobile phone eventually. And also, even that's in India, WhatsApp or Facebook is investing in GeoMart, so or Geos. So these are the changes that eventually will come in Bangladesh, and we totally understand. And there is no questions about that, whether we should take this technology or not. If we don't take, definitely we are the loser, and we have to make this choice. And definitely from our side, we are talking to Kingdom. 3 to 4 meetings we have done, and definitely we'll do a presentation to our board, and shortly we can get back to. But this is the ultimate things. This is going to happen if we don't do. One point is that in 5 years back, Lanka Bangla was absolutely #1 broker. Okay, so if you see right now, so they're not now probably sometimes Brachypil, sometimes Idealsys, sometimes Shanta, the other brokers or UCBL, so they're doing much better. So the gap between #1 and #2 is not that much right now. So, and other brokers are doing good as well. So this is good for the markets because eventually, if all the brokers they're focusing on the retail and the other part or the technology part, I think the financial strength of the other brokerage is also important, because if only one broker is very strong and the other broker is very weak, because we have 250 members right now, but if you see the financial strength, probably 10 to 15, not more than that, other brokers is very much capable to serve the retail clients or the corporate clients and maintain a good research team. This is not really possible by them. So I think United Securities, if our managements, if they agreed on that part or the board, this is the ultimate things that we have to go for. And there is no questions about that.
Yeah, thanks, Mahfouz. So I was just I agree with you, of course, completely. The other thing, the main message to give to your board is that, whether it's us or DirectFN, Zags, whoever, FlexTrade, it will take 4 to 6 months of implementation. So, if one thinks that the API will be open, so we apply for a test API. So the procedure is, once your board would agree, you would sign with us, we would enter into the contract, we would start the customization work for United, and our goal is to be ready as soon as the API is ready. Because as soon as the API is opened, like I know some other brokers, they've said to us, okay, FD, once the API is opened, then we're 100% going to sign with you. I say, look, of course, we'd love to, we want to work with you, so that's great. But then you'll be 4 to 6 months behind. With all service providers, it takes that long to make the transition, even if we put more resources. The second thing is, I think that, there'll be other new market segments. So I saw this morning or yesterday, BSEC has said now that brokers can open up offices in key NRB centers.
Yes.
Right? Now, obviously, I don't know how much you know about the patch. I'm on an NRB, but also I work quite extensively with many NRB communities. In fact, we are working on I'm working probably before the end of this year, inshallah, but soon, we are planning in the next 6 months to launch a digital remittance business in the UK. And that digital remittance business in the UK will, again, have a wealth management kind of offering and capability. So I think with NRBs in the UK, in the US, and in other key markets, they've never had a lot of confidence in and enough information to invest in the stock market in Bangladesh. It's not even that you need for them to transfer more money to Bangladesh. Most of them won't want to do that. But there is billions of dollars of assets of NRBs stuck in Bangladesh, sitting in bank accounts, sitting in real estate, but they don't have any confidence about investing in the stock market. So,
yeah,
you know, that on its own, the NRB community, which nobody's really been able to, you know, how much they want to invest in mutual funds, how much they want to invest directly in the stock market, some combination, and they need proper wealth management advice. So when we create our digital remittance platform, we will also have the ability to execute and trades into the Bangladesh stock market. So that's going to change. And then the number of foreign institutional investors in Bangladesh has not changed significantly. That will also likely change. So all of these things where, you know, depending on what United wants to focus on, what is your strategic decision as to where you see the growth in the market? If you don't see it in retail and you want to develop the local institute, you know, you may say, okay, we want to focus on the local institutional market. We want to focus on the international institutions, or we want to focus on NRBs. Each of these segments have different kinds of strategies and service offering around them. So we can work with you on that. I think, does anybody else from your team have any questions?
Anybody, do you have any questions?
I've also recorded this call, so I'm going to share the recording with you on.
Yeah, it will be really great, so that we can
I'll
share
actually
it.
put it up on Vimeo, because the cloud recording sometimes disappears. So I'll put this up on Vimeo and then share you the Vimeo link so that you can share it with your, you know, Riyad Bhai and others who haven't been on the call, or indeed your management. You can, if there's any, sorry, any of your board members want to, you know, see the demo, understand what the system is, what you're actually getting into, then you can share that. So I'll do that. And then, you know, I think that basically, as things stand, if we can sign in the next few weeks, then we're confident to finish your implementation by the end of this year. It's kind of that kind of time frame. We can make it a bit faster by allocating more developers, but you know, I don't know what you think. When is the API going to be opened up? I mean, Shakil Rizvi said on the webinar a few, you know, 3 weeks back that it should be a DSC board will take the decision in September, or officially, but I don't know what the actual, I'm sure there'll be some procedural issue and so on, but I think that
actually most of the brokers are not really ready. So if API issues, probably top brokers like Lanka Bangla, they will get benefits, as they have already installed some systems and they have already invested money for that. But I think, despite that, I think they should issue this API as early as possible, because it will push the other brokers to be accustomed or to install that system so as soon as possible. So,
yeah, I think it. Sorry, Mahfouz Bhai, you were saying.
I think the current ACC chairman, he is very pro to that these issues. Okay, so probably, and he's taking some very good measures regarding the markets. Probably this initiative will come very soon. So if we can convince,
we had a call. Actually, we had a call last Thursday for half an hour. We had a one-on-one call with the BSEC chairman. So we were actually meant to have a 1 hour call, but then he had some urgent issues that came up. But he wants to hold a. I told him let's do a Zoom virtual conference, but I don't know. He wanted me to. He said let's wait till you come back to Dhaka. So I said okay. So he wants to wait till I'm back in Dhaka and then host a seminar in person at BSEC. So maybe that's going to be late September. If I come back in mid to late September, then there may be some quarantine, but maybe it's going to be in October. But he wants to have his whole commission management MAS team within the commission. He also wants to invite the DSC and also maybe some leading brokers. And also by then he'll have the IT consultant in place. But I think that whether it's September or October, I think that once they take the decision to open up the API, things will start moving very fast in terms of the other brokers. But as I said during the call, Kingdom, we also want to offer a solution for medium-sized brokers, but it's still essentially, maybe it's a slightly lower upfront fee with a less sophisticated system, but it's still revenue sharing, and it's more cloud-based. So the big difference between the big broker solution is the sophistication and customization options, and also whether it's cloud-based or server-based. But I think that we need to have a solution for even medium and small brokers that's better. I mean, of course, people can keep using the FlexTrade app, but I think that it seems that the FlexTrade app is, if anything, working even worse in the last few weeks. So we need to offer a different alternative to them. But yeah, I think it's going to move quite quickly. Our working assumption is the end of this year that the API will be live, but it may be sooner, it may be slightly later. But United hopefully will be, ready. With
okay.
this
Just let us get back to you by, I think we'll try to take decision as early as possible.
Sure.
And by next week or we'll try to do meetings with the managements or the board, and if any sort of decisions comes out from us, so I definitely will inform you.
Okay, that's great. So as I said, thanks very much for your time, and I know the market's busy, so that's good. That's one good piece of news. At least turnover has gone up and the market's gone up.
Yeah. It's we didn't expect this market during this pandemic. That's the Bangladesh markets, but eventually it's a very good for us, and it's happening. Otherwise, there's the whole system, maybe financial system, maybe in jeopardy just because of this pandemic situation.
So that's also, I think it's also for us and for you, it's easier to go to your board when your revenues and the market's gone up and say, let's invest in a new system.
Exactly.
The market was shut, or if you hadn't made revenues for 3 months and then said to the board, look, we have to invest in a system, that's harder. But I think now at least they can see there is a potential. And
it's bit easy right now. It's a bit easy to take that decision. So probably 2 months back it was not that easy. That's 2 to 3 crore taka investments at this point, and that's picking up the retail investors, and you have to attract them. So it will take time, but but at this point definitely its decision making will be much more easier for us.
Okay, Mahfouz Bhai, so thanks you and the rest of the team, Tanim.
Thanks, Ifti Bhai, and thanks, Toby.
Toby, and we'll share the recording before the end of today. I'll send you it on, I think, Anwar I think we've got a WhatsApp group, so let me send it on the WhatsApp group to you.
Okay.
All right, thanks then. Have a good day.
Thanks, bye. Bye.